So this week I am joined by Johnny Brennan, and we are thinking about the conflict between King Saul and David that basically came out of a place of jealousy. You see, Saul wanted approval and the popularity that David had, and he repeatedly tried to kill him. But the difference between them was that David chose to let go, and he chose not to seek revenge. So Johnny, why do you think that it's easier to want to seek revenge as opposed to make things right with the person that's hurt you?
I think pain does something to us, and when we're in situations where we've been hurt or something bad has happened and it's maybe someone's fault, maybe someone's done something to us, maybe someone's said something, done something, or the opposite, maybe not done something when they should have done. I think that feeling of I feel like this and they should feel like this. So that kind of mentality of, I shouldn't feel like this, I shouldn't feel hurt, I shouldn't be upset, it's because of this person that I am. And therefore we, as humans, there's this thing within us that go, well, that's not fair. Yeah. I shouldn't feel like this. And almost, well, if I feel like this, then they should feel like this. And so I think that can happen with like small things. It can happen with massive things and everything in between. It's not like it has to be a level of hurt to then, I think like my wife got upset with me because I didn't do the washing that I said I was going to do. And she got really upset with me. And I thought it was a bit unfair because I'd been really busy with work and other stuff. And so she was really mean to me. And instantly, I just wanted to be mean back. But I wasn't. This was the bigger man. But I think it does crazy things to us, pain, hurt, and often, there's that thing about if you get really angry about something and you're going to react, there's this whole idea of like count to 10. And I think actually because our innate response is one of revenge, but actually if we take time and think about it, even that 10 seconds, it can sometimes not be as big. Does that make sense? Yeah,
absolutely. So has there been a time maybe where God has challenged you to try and make peace with somebody that's hurt you?
Yeah, I think, so I'm 30 years old now, so it's been a long old time in my life.
Old.
Shush. I was Alicia's youth worker, which is very scary, makes me feel very old. But anyway, when I was 17, 18, I had a group of friends in school. And we were a really tight group of friends. Back in the day, before Facebook and stuff was around, but MSN Messenger was around, and we had this big group on MSN Messenger, and we were going on holiday together at the end of sixth form. Life was brilliant. These were really, really good group of friends. I went through a really horrible time in sixth form, and they were all there for me. And then over the period of 3 months, they decided to tell me that they didn't want me to go on holiday with them. They found me quite annoying, and that they were kind of done with me. And you can imagine kind of like the feelings and the emotions that I was going through then. And it's in that moment, I won't even tell you some of the thoughts that went through my head. But there wasn't a single positive one towards any of them. And I left to go to my gap year and did university after that. And for years, probably 3 or 4 years after that, I was still holding on to this kind of, every time I thought about one of them, it would be really negative, and I'd be like, I hope they're working in McDonald's doing something that they don't want to do, or like, I hope, all that kind of stupid stuff. I'd never seen any of them again. And it got to 5 years after the kind of time, the traumatic time, and I was in church and they were talking about forgiveness, and I just sat there and I went, you've wasted 5 years of your life being angry at these guys. They don't even know you're angry, and even if they did, what would it achieve? And so in that moment I chose to forgive them, and that was a very personal thing between me and God. But it also affected, from then on, the way I thought about them. I actually pray for them now and pray that they're doing good. None of them follow Jesus, as far as I know. But I just pray that they're blessed and that good things are happening in their life. So that's the big story of that. But on a day-to-day, I help lead a local church here in the Wirral, and the amount of stuff I see happen because people don't run away from conflict. They want to fight, and they want to make their story heard. They want to make sure that people are held to account. And actually, if we did it differently, it could be so much easier.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what made the difference in the story of Saul and David.
Absolutely.
Is David stopped fighting back, and he actually, when he did do something wrong, he went and apologised because he felt like that was the right thing to do. And so finally, what piece of advice would you give to someone who's struggling with conflict?
There's so many ways to look at conflict, and there's so many ways to make next steps from conflict. Now, conflict is going to happen. We're human, and it's gonna happen in our everyday life as well as. So we're looking at the small things and the big things. You know, who had the last tea bag out of the thing? Because I know that would have upset you loads.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not me so much, but there's different things that set us off, and so knowing that, and so me and Bex, who's my wife, we've just, there's times when, like at the minute, Bex is doing her masters, working 4 days a week, and we've got a 3-year-old, and I'm helping lead a local church and everything that entails, and so we're really, really busy people. And there's times, like just the other night, we came back from work, we had tea, and she just said to me, listen, I'm really sorry if over the next couple of days I'm a bit short with you. It's just because this is going on. And so actually we were able to avoid conflict before it even happened because we were communicating. Yeah. And I think there's a couple of things. So that in conflict, the most important thing I think you can do is try and get out of your own shoes. Not physically, because that would be a bit weird if you started just taking your shoes off. but actually, a lot of the time conflict and a lot of times people's aggression and upset isn't just to do with the situation that you might be in. I put a tweet out a couple of weeks ago that's been the most retweeted tweet I've ever had, and it got the most likes on Facebook that I've ever had, and it was just simply, I want to acknowledge that I know that people have more stuff going on than I know. Yeah. And so I don't want my reaction to be based on just what's in front of me. I want to put myself in their shoes a bit more. Or even if I can't do that, just to know if someone is upset me or hurt me, I don't know everything that's going on in their life. I don't know what's caused them to be there or what's caused them to do that thing that's hurt me. And so I think it's biblical. I think it's what Jesus said, to love people. And a good friend of ours, James, we were having lunch yesterday, and we were talking about loads of stuff to do with our friends, our church, everything. And he just said, we need to be a bit more Jesus-y and a bit less human-y. And so I'm going to look at the camera. Wherever you are, whatever you're going through, try and be a little bit more Jesus-y. And Jesus just said, love God, love other people. It's the most important commandment. Yeah. And loving people means putting them before you. And in conflict, a lot of the time we get upset because of our perspective. They've upset me. I can't believe they've had the audacity to say that about me or to me. And I just think if we were all a bit more Jesus-y, and if we all just put other people ahead of ourselves and other people's feelings and thoughts, that would change everything. But it's so difficult.
Yeah, it is. But no, that's really good. Thanks, Johnny.